All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Game number 5, NLDS series between the Dodgers and the Padres. Like I said, game number 5, we're notched up at 2-2. Winner of this series advances. Loser, see you later. You're out of here. We got the Dodgers at home, minus 140. Total sitting at 7.5. In today's video, I'm going to dive into this game. I'm going to give you my lean on the side. I'll give you my lean on the total. We'll talk about any other plays we like player props. I have a couple of them that I'm eyeing as of right now. But as always, guys, keep an eye on the pinned comment for all of my final plays if you do want to fade me. In terms of last night, we're actually recording this the night before because I will be on the road driving for the majority of today, you guys watching this, but tomorrow for me. So we don't have a recap yet. I will say we have the Nerfy in the Guardians and the Tigers game. Multiple men on no outs right now, first and second with actually one out now. So that looks like that Nerfy is probably going to be a big old L on the forehead. And then we have the Yankees money line for the later game. So we'll see how those turn out. Fingers crossed somehow we get out of this Guardians and Tigers spot. I don't think we will, but then at least maybe the Yankees can kind of give us a 50-50 on the night. I'm not all that worried about it because we've been really good as of late, so one little misstep of a night isn't going to hurt us. But let's dive into this game, guys. Before we do, go ahead and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button as well. And while you're down there, make sure to check out the pinned comment and check out Sleeper. Multiple free squares for you. They have a Vasilevsky goalie square. They have a Gabriel college football, and then a Joe Burrow NFL football free square as well. So go check that out, guys. You're also going to get your first deposit matched up to $100. So you put in $100, they'll give you another $100, $200 to play with, $50, they'll give you $50, $100 to play with. You can do the math. I'm not the best mathematician here. So go ahead and check it out, guys. That link is in the pinned comment as well as the description. Go check out Sleeper. Again, you're going to get up to 100% of your $100, 100% deposit matched, as well as 3 free squares here. But let's dive into this one. So like I said, this is knotted up, right? 2-2. Bookended so far by Dodgers wins. Those games 2 and 3, the Padres looked almost unbeatable. Game number 2, they win 10-2. And then game number 3, they win 6-5. But realistically, if Hernandez doesn't hit a grand slam, it's a 6-1 game. You know what I mean? So they handled games 2 and 3, but then the Dodgers bounced back. 8-0 win in game number 4. So I'll say this right off the rip. If you're talking to your friends or your buddies, you're at a bar having a beer trying to talk about this game with someone, both sides can be correct. We've shown and we've seen that both of these teams are playoff caliber teams. And in fact, obviously the divisional stuff doesn't work out like that, but it would be nice to see them meeting down the road as well. But it is what it is. But overall, no matter what we say in this video, I don't want to be trying to talk you off of it. It's Ev's picks. I'm just giving you my picks in the game. We have Yu Darvish on the mound for the Padres going up against Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So 2 really good pitchers on the bump here. Yamamoto's been really good against left-handed hitters, which is fair to note. You have Jackson Merrill. Jurickson Profar is going to be a lefty in this game with a switch hitting. Cronenworth, Peralta, and then Luis Arraez. There's a lot of lefties in the San Diego lineup. I think that's going to be a pretty key thing for Yamamoto. But Yu Darvish on the bump for San Diego, he looked phenomenal in game number 2, right? He went 7 innings pitched, got plenty of run support there, and that was the game that they won 10-2. So you can't knock too much of him. I think he only had 3 or 4 strikeouts in that game, but barely let anyone on. He had 2 or 3 hits allowed with a couple walks, but still got plenty of run support, was fairly comfortable. This game is going to come down to the bats, though. I know I talk about how we should have 2 good pitchers on the mound with Darvish and Yamamoto, but let's be honest here, right? This Dodgers team is one of the best offenses, if not the best offense in the postseason. And the Padres is one of the best offenses, if not the best offense in the postseason. The Yankees on the other side of things can compete with them as well, but you have 2 of the best offenses left here. So I think that this game's going to come down to who can score more runs, not which pitcher can go out there and shut down the opposing team. Now, you can counter that by saying, well, Ev, look at what we've seen, right? 10-2 game, an 8-0 game. Even I said that 6-5 might not have been 6-5 without the grand slam. But overall, we've still seen 12 runs scored in game 1, 12 runs scored in game 2, 11 runs scored in game 3, 8 runs scored in game 4. So I think this is going to come down to what team is going to bat better. And obviously, you do have the Dodgers at home, who are phenomenal at home. I think that they were 53 and 30, something like that on the season at home. So I can get that side of things. But this Padres offense, other than game 4, seems to be making those big hits when they need to and scoring runs, and it just seems like they're way more excited. I know that's eye test stuff, but that's ultimately why I lean towards the Padres in this spot. Plus 120 right now over on ESPN. And again, I see the side of the Dodgers. You can make the argument that they have the better bullpen and all that, but there's been plenty of things that we've seen this Padres team do that kind of give a little glimmer of maybe they're meant to be here. Maybe they're meant to advance and that type of thing. So this is going to come down to offense. I like the idea, too, that the Dodgers struggled to some degree against the slider. Yu Darvish has a filthy slider. The Padres hit fastballs really well. Yamamoto throws a ton of fastballs. He does have a filthy curveball. Padres aren't that great against the curveball, but the splitter is going to be another one of his pitches. And this is if he pitches, by the way. We're recording this the night before. Anything could change, right? But he throws a splitter 25% of the time. Padres crushed the splitter. Last 30 days, not just postseason, so last 30 days, all teams considered, number one in the entire league in terms of runs above average per 100 splitters thrown. So I like the Padres in this spot to go out there and score some runs. I will say I like the over overall, but the safer play, and I do think it's a safer play, may just be Padres team total over 3.5 for -110. You're not getting the +120 nice little odds that you have if you take them on the money line, but I still think that they're going to go balls to the wall scoring, even if they lose this game, right? Like we could see another 6-5 type of game or something like that. So over 3.5 runs scored in a win or go home situation, I see the Padres bats coming alive there. And I already kind of tipped my hand at that, right? I like the over as well. I think that this is going to be a spot that, yes, Yu Darvish can go out there and pitch really, really well, but 7.5, that's a playoff number, but these are two teams that are so good offensively that I think the books are just lagging behind in terms of what we've seen. Like, yeah, they're afraid to throw an 8.5 out there because it's the playoffs, but these two teams have absolutely been crushing it. So I'm going to lean towards the over in this spot as well. Now, let's go ahead and dive into a couple player props. These player props, by the way, guys, I'm going to show you them via the Outlier tool. If you guys want to check out Outlier, I have a link in the pinned comment as well, right near that sleeper link. You guys are going to get 7 days free with this tool. But I'm looking at Kyle Higashioka. Probably not saying that name right because I can't even pronounce my own last name. And I love the people that give me grief in the comments being like, he clearly has never watched a game. He can't pronounce a name. I can barely pronounce the name Smythe. You know what I mean? Smith. That's a hard one for me. So when I see Higashioka, don't get all mad and your panties in a bunch because I can't pronounce it. I can't even pronounce the name Johnson, Johnsson. Can't even pronounce that one. But we got Kyle here. Over 0.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. He's obviously been cashing this. They had a drought in game number 4 there. Everyone on the Padres did. But look at what he was doing prior to that. Head-to-head, it looks great as well, dating back to last season, June. Last 20, he's hit in 11 of 20, but the dude has stepped up in the last 10, averaging 2 hits, runs, and RBIs. So I don't mind that spot. DraftKings, best odds right now. I guess MGM's right there with it, but keep an eye on the odds. Again, we're recording this in advance, so these odds are subject to change. But what is really cool, honestly, about Outliers, you can click this, you could scan it on your phone if you want, or you can just continue in browser. It's going to open up that play, put it in the bet slip. You don't even have to go digging for it. So if you're like, oh, where do I find that, or where do I find this? Outlier makes that super, super simple. But Higashioka is going to be the first one that I like here. And then we'll move on to Fernando Tatis Jr. over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. This has been a guy that looks like he is so invested. Not to say these other guys aren't, but he seems so pumped up. Every single pitch seems like it matters. This is a back against the wall type spot. Do we have the metrics? Sure, he has been trending in that direction, right? 4.4 hits, runs, and RBIs. I get it. But this is more of a feel play that this guy really is going to care for it and put his team on his back. And I like the spot here. Head to head, he's hit in 61%, 17 of his last 28. In LA, 10 of his last 15, and if you get rid of this, what is this? That is 11 games right there, so he's hit it in 9 of his last 11. So Fernando Tatis Jr. over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, also a spot that I am looking at. But guys, like I always tell you, keep an eye on the pinned comment. That is where all the final plays, what I'm actually rolling with out of what we talk about here, those will be there for free. And yes, I'm well aware that I mispronounced Smith and Johnson, so yeah. Shout out to the Guppies that probably fall for that one too. But nonetheless, guys, that's all I have for you. If you made it this far into the video, go ahead and comment 9. 5 + 4 = 9. I'm telling you, mathematician out here. Go ahead and comment 9. We'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.